In the wilderness of Sinai, over 3,000 years ago, something extraordinary took place. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Yahuwah himself, gave detailed instructions for a sacred dwelling place. This was not a temple of stone, but a portable sanctuary that would travel with the children of Israel through their wilderness journey. As Yahuwah declared to Moses, "Let them make me a sanctuary, that I may dwell among them." Exodus 25:8. This is the story of the Tabernacle, a masterpiece of divine design, rich with meaning, and a physical manifestation of God's desire to be present with His people. The Tabernacle complex began with an outer court, a rectangle measuring 100 cubits long and 50 cubits wide, roughly 150 feet by 75 feet. This sacred space was enclosed by fine white linen curtains, 7.5 feet high, suspended from 60 pillars of bronze set in bronze sockets. The brilliant white linen spoke of purity and holiness, creating a boundary between the common and the sacred. There was only one entrance, located on the eastern side, a beautiful gate woven with blue, purple, and scarlet thread and fine linen, spanning 20 cubits wide. This single entrance was intentional. As Yeshua would later declare, "I am the door. If anyone enters by me, he will be saved." John 10:9. Even in the ancient tabernacle, God was teaching that there is only one way to approach Him. The first object encountered upon entering the courtyard was the bronze altar, also called the altar of burnt offering. This massive structure measured 5 cubits square and 3 cubits high, approximately 7.5 feet on each side. Made of acacia wood overlaid with bronze, it featured 4 horns projecting from its corners and a bronze grating network within. Here the priests offered the daily sacrifices, the morning and evening burnt offerings, the sin offerings, the trespass offerings. As the book of Leviticus states, "For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you upon the altar to make atonement for your souls. For it is the blood that makes atonement for the soul." Leviticus 17:11. The fire on this altar was never to go out. Day and night, smoke ascended as a reminder that the penalty for sin is death, but God, in His mercy, provided a substitute. Between the bronze altar and the entrance to the holy place stood the bronze laver, a large basin crafted from the bronze mirrors donated by the serving women of Israel. Exodus 38:8. Here, the priests washed their hands and feet before ministering at the altar or entering the holy place. This was not optional, it was a matter of life and death. As Yahuwah commanded, "They shall wash their hands and their feet, lest they die." Exodus 30:21. The laver speaks of cleansing and sanctification. We may come to God through sacrifice, but we must also be cleansed to serve Him and draw near to His presence. Beyond the courtyard stood the tabernacle itself, a stunning tent structure overlaid with layers of coverings. The framework consisted of 48 boards of acacia wood, overlaid with gold, each board standing 15 feet high. These boards were held together by 5 crossbars and set in silver sockets. The tabernacle was covered with 4 layers. The innermost layer was composed of 10 exquisite curtains of fine linen in blue, purple, and scarlet, with cherubim skillfully woven into the fabric. This is what the priests would see when they looked up: a canopy of heaven with angelic guardians. The second layer was made of 11 curtains of goat's hair, a tent over the tent. The third layer was ram skins dyed red, speaking perhaps of sacrifice and covenant. The fourth and outer layer was made of badger skins, or possibly porpoise skins, providing weatherproof protection. From the outside, the tabernacle appeared plain, but inside it was glorious, reminding us that God looks not at the outward appearance, but at the heart. The tabernacle was divided into two chambers. The first, called the Holy Place, measured 20 cubits long and 10 cubits wide. Only the priests could enter this sacred space, and only after proper cleansing. Within the Holy Place were 3 articles of furniture, each crafted from acacia wood overlaid with pure gold. On the south side stood the golden lampstand, the menorah, beaten from a single talent of pure gold, weighing approximately 75 pounds. It featured 7 lamps arranged on branches extending from a central shaft, decorated with cups shaped like almond blossoms with buds and flowers. The lampstand was the only source of light in the holy place, burning with pure olive oil. The priests tended these lamps every morning and evening, ensuring they never went out. Yahuwah declared through the psalmist, "Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path." Psalm 119, 105. Later, Yeshua would say, "I am the light of the world." John 8:12. The menorah reminds us that in God's presence, we walk in light, His truth illuminating our way. On the north side stood the table of showbread, overlaid with pure gold. Upon this table rested 12 loaves of bread, arranged in 2 rows of 6, representing the 12 tribes of Israel continually before Yahuwah. Each Sabbath, the priests replaced the bread, eating the old loaves within the holy place. Frankincense was placed with each row as a memorial offering. This bread was called the lechem panim, literally, bread of the presence, or bread of the face. It symbolized God's provision for His people and their continual fellowship with Him. As Yeshua would later teach, "I am the bread of life. He who comes to me shall never hunger." John 6:35. Directly before the veil that separated the holy place from the most holy place stood the golden altar of incense. This altar was 1 cubit square and 2 cubits high, crowned with horns at its corners, and overlaid entirely with pure gold. Twice daily, morning and evening, the high priest burned a special blend of incense upon this altar. The smoke ascended toward the veil, filling the holy place with fragrant clouds. The scriptures tell us, "Let my prayer be set before you as incense, the lifting up of my hands as the evening sacrifice." Psalm 141:2. In the book of Revelation, we learn that the smoke of the incense, with the prayers of the saints, ascended before God. Revelation 8:4. This altar stood closest to the presence of Yahuwah, symbolizing intercession and the prayers of God's people rising before His throne. Separating the holy place from the most holy place hung a magnificent veil, a curtain woven from blue, purple, and scarlet thread and fine linen, with cherubim embroidered upon it. This veil was the barrier between man and the full presence of God. Only one man on one day of the year could pass beyond this veil, the high priest on Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. Centuries later, at the moment of Yeshua's death on the cross, Matthew records, "The veil of the temple was torn in 2 from top to bottom." Matthew 27:51. God Himself tore the barrier, opening the way for all to enter His presence through the sacrifice of the Messiah. Beyond the veil lay the most holy place, the Holy of Holies, a perfect cube measuring 10 cubits on each side. This was the throne room of Yahuwah, the most sacred space on earth. Here dwelt the Shekinah glory, the visible manifestation of God's presence in the form of a luminous cloud by day and fire by night. In this chamber rested only one article, the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant was a chest of acacia wood overlaid with pure gold, both inside and out, measuring 2.5 cubits long, 1.5 cubits wide, and 1.5 cubits high. Golden rings at its corners allowed poles to pass through for carrying, for the ark was never to be touched by human hands. Within the ark were 3 items: The 2 tablets of stone inscribed with the 10 Commandments, the testimony of God's law. A golden pot containing manna, the bread from heaven that sustained Israel in the wilderness, and Aaron's rod that budded, the staff that miraculously produced blossoms, proving God's choice of Aaron's priesthood. Upon the ark rested the mercy seat, a solid gold cover overshadowed by 2 golden cherubim facing each other, their wings outstretched. This was the throne of God on earth. It was here, between the cherubim, that Yahuwah said he would meet with Moses. There I will meet with you, and I will speak with you from above the mercy seat, from between the 2 cherubim which are on the ark of the testimony. Exodus 25:22. Once a year, on the Day of Atonement, the high priest sprinkled the blood of the sacrifice upon the mercy seat, covering the law with blood, satisfying the demands of justice with mercy. The tabernacle required a priesthood to maintain its service and offer sacrifices. Yahuwah chose the tribe of Levi for this sacred duty, and specifically, the descendants of Aaron to serve as priests. The common priests, Aaron's sons and their descendants, wore 4 garments of white linen, a tunic, trousers, a sash, and a turban. These represented purity and righteousness as they ministered in the holy place and at the bronze altar. But the high priest wore 8 garments, each laden with symbolism. Over the basic 4 garments of white linen, the high priest wore 4 additional pieces: the blue robe of the ephod, a seamless garment of blue, adorned at its hem with pomegranates of blue, purple, and scarlet thread, alternating with golden bells. As he moved, the sound of the bells announced his presence, and as Scripture says, that he may not die. Exodus 28:35. The ephod, a vest-like garment woven with gold thread, blue, purple, and scarlet thread, and fine linen. On each shoulder of the ephod was an onyx stone, engraved with the names of 6 tribes of Israel. The high priest literally carried the people on his shoulders as he ministered before God. The breastplate of judgment, a square doubled over to form a pocket, containing the Urim and Thummim, the mysterious objects by which God revealed his will. The breastplate was set with 12 precious stones, each engraved with the name of one of the 12 tribes. As the high priest entered God's presence, he carried the people over his heart. The golden crown, or mitre, worn on his turban, engraved with the words, "Holiness to Yahuwah." Exodus 28:36. This represented the ultimate purpose of the priesthood, to be set apart for God. The priests maintained a constant rhythm of service. Each morning and evening, they offered burnt offerings on the bronze altar, 2 lambs daily, the continual burnt offering. They trimmed and filled the lamps of the menorah, ensuring light never ceased in the holy place. Each Sabbath, they replaced the showbread on the golden table. Twice daily, they burned incense on the golden altar of incense. They inspected animals brought for sacrifice, ensuring only the unblemished could be offered. They taught the people God's law and mediated between God and man. As for the Levites, the broader tribe, they were responsible for transporting, assembling, and disassembling the tabernacle when Israel journeyed, and guarding the sacred space when encamped. Each family of Levi had specific duties. The sons of Kohath carried the sacred furniture after the priests had covered it, the sons of Gershon carried the curtains and coverings, and the sons of Merari carried the frames, pillars, and sockets. From the day the tabernacle was erected, the glory of Yahuwah filled it. A cloud covered the tabernacle by day, and the appearance of fire by night, visible to all the house of Israel throughout their journeys. As Numbers records, whenever the cloud was taken up from above the tabernacle, the children of Israel would go onward in all their journeys. But if the cloud was not taken up, then they did not journey till the day that it was taken up. Numbers 9:17-18. The tabernacle moved when God moved. The people rested when God's presence settled. Their entire existence revolved around the presence of Yahuwah dwelling among them. The tabernacle was more than an ancient tent. It was a profound revelation of spiritual truth. Every material, every measurement, every ritual pointed beyond itself to deeper realities. The writer of Hebrews tells us these were copies of the things in the heavens, Hebrews 9:23, shadows of the true sanctuary where Messiah now ministers. The way to God was clearly marked, through sacrifice, through cleansing, through the ministry of a priest, through the veil, and ultimately through the mercy seat where justice and mercy meet. The progression from the outer court to the most holy place represents our spiritual journey, from the altar of sacrifice where we are forgiven, to the laver where we are cleansed, into the place of light and truth, sustained by the bread of life, with prayers ascending like incense, until at last we enter the very presence of God. For nearly 500 years, the Tabernacle of Moses served as the center of Israel's worship, first in the wilderness, then at Shiloh, and finally in various locations until Solomon built the temple in Jerusalem. But the message of the tabernacle echoes through the ages. Yahuwah, the infinite God of the universe, desires to dwell with his people. He designed a way for sinful humanity to approach him through sacrifice, through priesthood, through his grace. And the promise that began in that ancient tent continues today. As Scripture declares, "Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people. God himself will be with them and be their God." Revelation 21:3. The tabernacle of Moses was never just about a tent in the desert. It was about a God who loved his people so much that he came to dwell among them, and who promises one day to dwell with us forever.